Hi guys, it's Milka. Welcome to, I was gonna say welcome back to my channel, but this is technically the first video on the NutAeum channel. So, welcome to my channel, or my channel. Oh my gosh, I have to stop doing that. I feel like I'm gonna start doing that in every video and it's gonna become a thing. But yes, welcome. Today we're doing a little bit more of a basic or a simple pick a card reading, and it's meant to be very gentle, and it is all about what does divine want, what would divine like you to know right now? Like what would they like your message, or what kind of message would they like to give to you? My goodness, all this word, verbal diarrhea. So today we have a couple of options. We've got 5 options to pick from, but before I talk about the options, one of the things that I did want to actually talk about are the bracelets that you see on my hands. These are custom crystal bracelets. I have a bunch. I've been making them for some time now, and I don't know, I decided to make it open to the public. I make these crystal bracelets. I haven't made a duplicate yet. Everybody's been getting their own very custom bracelet. All of the designs have been very custom and unique, unless of course somebody saw a specific design and they requested it. The bracelets are meant to help either facilitate a certain type of healing that you would like to have going on in your life, or to help to help attract what it is that you would like to have for your life. They can also be used for protection and a whole bunch of other stuff, depending on what it is that you would like to receive from the bracelet. I do, like I said, make them custom, so all of the designs are different. The stones that I use are channeled, what I feel is the right stone for you and what it is that you would like to receive from your bracelet. They get charged with Reiki, light language, and they get attuned to your specific energy, as well as to divine frequency to stay around you as well. So if you guys are interested, you can check the description box below and reach out to me either through email, social media, or on my website, which is also going to be listed down below. It's a little sparse, or sparse, I think that's the word, right? It's a little sparse, but it's a work in progress, okay? So yeah, now that we got that out of the way, let's just get into the groups here. Also, it's very windy outside. I live in an area that has lots of traffic, so if you do hear cars, sirens, wind, rain, purple rainbows, I don't know, that's why. So okay, you guys have options to either choose by cards or by stones. So I'll show you the cards first. For group 1, your card, so these are actually slang flashcards. So this one is T. It says, Terry said you hooked up with Sherry. Tea, please. And then there's a definition. Tea, juicy gossip shared between friends. So that's a little bit of a close-up on the card. I don't know how close-up that actually is for you guys, but there you go. And the stone that is your option. All of these stones have a bit of a heart theme today. So it's kind of like find the heart. So here's this little pink heart in this stone. You see this tiny heart here? So that's your stone. And all of these stones, by the way, guys, have been picked, except for this one. But the first 4 stones I hand-picked in Montauk, at Montauk Point. So yeah, the second card or the second group is high key. So, oh, I'm high key craving a cruel, oh, is it ooh or oh? I think it's ooh, but there's an H at the end. It doesn't matter. I'm high key craving a crueler, whatever that is. Maybe I got these for readings, but I think I probably need them as well. And the definition of high key is totally, intensely, excitedly, openly. See also hella, way, and straight up. There it is. And your stone from Montauk. Look how special it is. This is the first stone I ever picked from Montauk. You see the heart? That's your group. Group 2. Group 3. Your card is basic. Ernie is so basic. He literally thinks Facebook is hip. Basic, mainstream, bland, boring, unhip, used especially for one who is unaware of their own basicness. See also Karen, sorry to any Karens out there, Visco Girl, Pumpkin Spice. There it is. And this is yet another stone from Montauk Point. And it actually looks like a heart. Look at that, how cute. Ooh, I have an eyelash. Okay, sorry about that, I had an eyelash. Group 4. I was gonna start with your card, but let's start with your stone. You have this green little heart. This is also a stone from Montauk. And your card is Stan. Oh, let's watch The Karate Kid. I stan young Ralph Macchio. I don't know how it's pronounced. Stan, to be a dedicated and or obsessive fan. Synonyms, fanboying, fangirling. See also ship. There it is. Okay, group 5. You guys, also sorry for the shaky table. You guys have a bit of a different and special stone. This one is a very Picasso style heart, I might add, but let's start with your card. So your card is Bae, and it says, oh, boo, you'll always be my bae. Bae, term of endearment for one's romantic partner. Synonym, babe, boo, real one. See also, ride or die. There it is. And your stone is actually a red jasper, which looks like an abstract heart from this angle. I don't know if you can see it, if I have to move it around for you to see it, but yes, that is your stone. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a moment to pick your cards or pick your groups, and we'll get right into the reading. Hi, group 1. So this is your group if you chose the T card or this little hidden heart in this stone from Montauk. I'm going to set your card aside, group 1, and I'll be right back with the rest of your cards. So be right back. Okay, group 1, so we actually have 2 portions to this reading, the tarot portion and the oracle cards. We're going to start out with the tarot cards, and we'll look at the oracle cards last. So we have, and by the way, all of the cards and stuff will be listed down below. So we have the 10 of Wands, the 3 of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles, the 2 of Pentacles. You guys got a lot from this deck, which was not expected, as I was hoping to get maximum 3 from each deck, but it's okay. You guys have a hefty message. We have the 9 of Cups, the 2 of Wands, and the 8 of Swords. We also have the King of Wands, Temperance, the Star, the 7 of Swords, the 3 of Cups, the Moon, if you can see down here, but that's the moon. The 5 of Cups and the 4 of Cups. So I'm just gonna shift it all over for 1 sec, just to make it sort of possibly a little symmetrical-y. Okay. So I hope you guys can see all of your cards. I don't know how far the scope is. I think I can actually probably move your cards down a bit more so you can see them all. Sorry guys, I just want to make sure you can see everything. I know it's not necessary, but I for one like to be able to see everything. So yeah, okay, there you go. It's not going to be symmetrical, but you can for sure see everything now, I believe. Okay, so group 1. What does Divine want to say to you? Honestly, you guys, I kind of feel like one of the biggest messages here is a message of hope, because I feel like some of you guys are currently going through a heartbreak, whether that be some kind of a like a breakup in a romantic relationship, or a passing of a family member or friend. I just feel like there's some kind of a heartbreak here, or it's you guys dealing with the heartbreak from the past, because it feels like with this 3 of Swords, one of the biggest thing that's coming through is like trust issues. And I feel like with the trust issues, and with the Star and with the 3 of Cups, when this 3 of Cups came out, the first thing I thought of when I saw it, because usually the 3 of Cups is like friendship, right? It's friends having fun with soul friends and all this. At least that's how I see it. But in this card, this just really felt like the support of your spirit guides and your team. And so I just feel like the biggest message for you is just don't give up hope. It seems like maybe you guys have sort of overcome already this, whatever this heartbreak is. So it's not 100% current. I think like maybe at least a couple of weeks have gone by. Again, this is a general reading, so some of you guys could be going through it now. But I think that for the majority of you, a couple of weeks have probably gone by or more time. And I just feel like you're getting really close to approaching a time in your life where Divine wants you to go out and take risks and make things happen for yourself. And it's like the perfect timing is approaching where you can just, and I just saw 1, 2, 3, 4 too. So you see that's actually a good thing. That's like progress, right? So the timing that's approaching is a time for you guys to actually go out into the world, live passionately, do the things that you want. But if you have this fear or this trust issue with how things are going to turn out, it's just going to impact how you actually go out into the world and take action. I feel like it'll keep you holding yourself back for another year, you know? So they're asking you to have faith in yourself and your abilities and stuff, that you're in your capabilities, you know, and have faith that Divine has got your back. You know, you're not alone. You have a whole team supporting you. And I feel like for some of you guys, this has to do with pursuing a dream, pursuing something that you really want. It's like there's no need for you to wait anymore. Your perfect timing is approaching quickly, you know? So spend the rest of this next couple of weeks just trying to really fill yourself with faith and trust and and the knowledge that you are supported by divine. Okay, because I feel like the biggest message here is that you are supported. You are so supported. You are unconditionally supported. So now give up that little stress, anxiety, heartbreak, and those trust issues to divine and your guides and your team, and allow them to be the back of the chair that supports you so you don't fall through when you sit, you know? I also feel like another message that they have for you guys is, again, it kind of ties into the whole trust thing, right? But it's okay to feel passionately about things. It's okay to be excited. Don't, like for example, say you're excited about something, but you've been disappointed in the past, so you're like, it's probably not going to happen. Try avoiding that, you know? I know it's a form of self-defense so that you don't get hurt or upset again because of having some kind of a hope or expectation that wasn't met. But they're saying, we want you to hope, we want you to desire, we want you to dream and to aspire to things, feel passionately about things, okay? We know that in the past that hasn't worked out for you, but just trust that now is different. Now it will. And with this little section here, I feel like yeah, it just seems like because of the hurt and the betrayals and the trust issues that came from your past, you guys don't allow yourself to hope for things. You don't allow yourself to wish for things. It almost feels like a bit pessimistic, to be honest with you. I feel like some of you guys may even consider yourselves optimists, but you don't realize that when it comes to yourself and the things that you truly want and desire, you're being a little bit pessimistic, you know, because you're trying to keep yourself from having your hopes and dreams crushed, your wishes crushed, you know. It's like, I can't experience betrayal if I never trust. I can't have my dreams crushed if I never go for them, you know, or if I don't have dreams. You know what I mean? That makes life so harsh, that there's no fun in life if you don't dream, if you don't hope, if you don't aspire to things. How else are you supposed to manifest too, right? If you don't actually have desires. What you end up manifesting is the things that you don't want, since you focus on the things that you don't want or don't have, or have but don't want, you know, because you're not focusing on your desires. So the biggest message with the tarot here is, allow yourself to give up this hurt from the past, these disappointments, these expectations that were not met, right? Allow yourself to give that up to divine, and try taking on a little bit more of a vulnerable phase into your life in these next coming weeks of surrender and hope, you know. Wish for things, want things. It's okay to want things, you guys. That's what makes this life interesting, exciting. That's what makes us so individual. It's our wants, our hopes, our desires, our aspirations, you know. So aspire, go for that thing. If you want to start something new but you've been afraid of it not working out because it's never worked out in the past, go in as if you have forgotten the past. Just go in. It's going to be scary. It's going to feel uncomfortable, but if you don't ever challenge your comfort zone, how are you going to say that you really lived life, you know? Living in a little box your whole life is not going to be fulfilling. And yeah, it's risky to trust again. It's risky to hope, but if you don't risk, if you don't put in some kind of a risk, is what you get in the end really worth it? It's like an exchange, you know? I believe this is worth this, right? If something is expensive, but you know it's high quality and it's worth it, you make that exchange, right? That monetary exchange. So taking the risk for something that, sure, maybe could fail, just like the thing that you buy could break, but ultimately would be worth it. Isn't it worth the risk? The risk is your energy exchange for the thing that you want, you know? So I challenge you guys to come out of your comfort zone a little and come out of that old story that no longer serves you, okay? And just go for it. Go for the thing that you want. Just try it. Get yourself out there. Okay, guys? All right, that's your tarot portion. Now I'm just going to clean these up, and we're going to look into your oracle cards. Okay, so just give me a moment. I didn't really think this part through when it came to putting this stuff or moving this stuff out of the way. So there you go, that's out of the way. Now let's take a look at your oracle cards. You guys got a lot of the Archangel ones, which I was like expecting 1, maybe 2, but you guys got 4. You have Archangel Raphael with celestial healing, Archangel Ramiel with divine love, vulnerability. Oh, that's so perfect, because we were just talking about taking a risk, you know. Archangel Anael with divine joy. Those you love, love you. Dwell on what you love. Time to make a demonstration. The phoenix rises into joyful abundance. I am galactic starseed blooming. And then we have 2 zodiac or astrology cards. We have Virgo and the 8th house, which I'll set here. Okay, guys. So your oracle cards are mainly kind of like advice, you know, and I feel like a lot of them are reconfirming what we just talked about with taking the risk and trusting that divine has your back and things are going to work out this time. With the celestial healing, I really feel like this is healing of those trust issues and releasing your past. And with the divine love, it's just asking you to realize you have a whole support system, right? Like how I said that 3 of Cups was kind of giving me that whole, like, your spirit team is with you, your guides are with you, divine is with you. This is what I feel like this divine love card is saying. It's like, we're here, we're with you, we're supporting you. You're not on your own. You're not, you know, like, you're not trying to navigate this world alone anymore, because you can see that we're here. We're trying to show you that we're here. You're not alone. So it's okay. It's safe for you to take the risk, because we're going to be the back of the chair so you don't fall through when you sit down and lean back. Okay, if you have a little stumble and you lean back. With vulnerability, again, this is you guys being asked to take the risk. Yes, you're going to feel so on display. You're going to feel vulnerable because you're out of your comfort zone. You've come out of this little box, this little shell, right? But that's where life is. It's outside of that shell. That's where joy, experience, other people, friends, your dreams, desires, aspirations, and goals, they're all outside of this little shell. You know, so yeah, you're going to feel vulnerable, but know that you're supported. And with the divine joy, I feel like, again, they're asking you to go about it with a new set, as if you are a baby that was just born, and all you know is joy and love and excitement and hope, right? Don't, when you find yourself like thinking, oh, but you know what, it may not happen, so let me just get a reality check, or, you know, just be like, wait, actually, hold on a second. Group 1, what am I saying to myself? You know what? I'm divinely supported, and why not? Why wouldn't it work out? You know? Instead of what if, ask yourself, why not? Why not? Those you love, love you. I mean, this is just an additional support. I mean, an additional message with the whole divine love thing, right? It's just, again, reconfirming you are so supported. And on the back of the card, there's these little messages. So, to be beautiful in the eyes of another, simply forget they're watching. Oh my goodness. You see, like, this is just, again, that message to me is, a message of like, come out of your shell. Don't worry about other people, how you're gonna possibly, what kind of an outcome you could possibly have. Just come out of your shell. Dwell on what you love. Again, this is like, instead of focusing on the negative or on the past or the hurt that you've experienced or the disappointment or the betrayal, focus on what it is that you want, right? Asking someone to change is like pruning a tree. Neither will ever be the same again. Scarier still is that you can't quite know in what new directions they'll grow. I wouldn't change a leaf on you, right? So this, with that message on the back, again, this is kind of about the fear of the unknown a little bit. So again, they're saying, instead of focusing on that fear, focus on what it is that you want. What do you want? Not what are you afraid that you won't get? What do you want? With the time to make a demonstration, I feel like this card is just telling you, okay guys, it's time to take action. Just like the tarot is saying, it's just time. It's time for you to take action. Get ready, because your timing is coming very, very soon. I'm feeling like in a couple of weeks, like astrologically, however it works for you guys, it's going to be a great time for you to actually start trying to take risks, you know? So you don't even need these next 2 weeks to brace yourself, or this next week, but I would say if it makes you feel a little bit more comfortable to get uncomfortable, take the next week to mentally prepare yourself and just reaffirm all of these messages with yourself, that you are supported, everything is all good. It's okay to take a risk. And the message on the back here is, the older the soul, the softer the glance, the quicker the smile, and the sooner to say, I love you. They also skip and wink more than normal and hold hands with those they walk beside. Utterly fearless, the universe. So with this, yeah. Sorry, I'm just reading it over again in my head. Yeah, I feel like even though that message had a couple of different meanings, I feel like ultimately the sensation I'm getting from it is that the only thing that's real is love. You know, so the fear, the anxiety, the stress, the insecurity, the doubt, you know, that's not real. That's just 3D stuff. And not to discredit those emotions, of course, because we are in the 3D world and we're experiencing 3D reality. But I think just refocusing back on love and the support, that is in my personal opinion, I feel like that's one of the highest forms of belief that we can have, is refocusing back on love, you know? And with the phoenix rises into joyful abundance, and I am galactic starseed blooming. I think this is like your self-belief. And the phoenix is all about transformation, right? It's about death of the old, birth of the new, and it's self-transmutation. So I feel like, again, it's like putting to end those old cycles and just going about as if you're a child, blissfully ignorant to how things could go wrong. You know, since you've experienced how things could go wrong, they're asking you to go about as if you don't know how things could go wrong. Just go for it with a new pair of eyes, with a new mindset, with a new renewed faith and trust. That is like the biggest thing here. Faith, trust, and pixie dust, you know? And like, you're supported. And the galactic starseed blooming, I just feel like that also, you know, with the 17 here, it makes me think of the star card in tarot, which is all about hope. And the galactic starseed blooming, I just think that they're saying, like, don't be too hard on yourself on the failures that you experienced or may experience. The whole point is that you're in process, right? You're in progress. That's what all of us are for all of our lives. We're just in progress. So I feel like they're emphasizing, like, don't be too hard on yourself if something doesn't go your way, or if there is a stumble and you go, oh, you see, I was right, I shouldn't have. It's like, no, instead of thinking that way, maybe you can try approaching it with, oh, it's okay, I fell, but I'm gonna get up and brush myself off and keep going, because I am a work in progress, just like all of us are. And with the Virgo and the 8th house, I feel like the Virgo is just talking about like putting in that effort, like making that effort, you know, the whole work in progress thing, because this is all about organization and work ethic. And so I just feel like with the Virgo, it's like re-emphasizing your work in progress. That's okay. The most important thing is that you're putting in effort. Even if you fail at trusting, even if you fail at or if you tumble at believing that you are supported, you know, instead of beating yourself up and being hard, just realize I'm a work in progress with this Virgo card. And again, Virgo is like cleaning up, right? So like cleaning up that old mindset. And with the 8th house, I really feel like, again, that is addressing your mindset more than anything else. And 8th house is Scorpio, right? It's the phoenix. It is literally death and rebirth. It is transformation. So I feel like they're asking you to just kind of put a little bit of work in on yourself in regards to doing things out of your comfort zone, because you're never going to feel ready, right? And work on your faith and in your abilities and in yourself and your trust in divine, which is ultimately how much you trust yourself, really. Okay, guys? Now let's just get the dice for you as well, because I always like to end the readings with the dice. And we have Aries, 1, Neptune, and the number 8. So yeah, remember I was saying you guys are approaching your new beginning, right? Where everything's just gonna kind of either astrologically line up, or it's just the time in your life in the next week or so, a couple of weeks possibly. Honestly, I kind of feel like it's already starting now, but you could take that week or a couple of weeks to prep yourself. So I feel like with the number 1 and the Aries, this is just talking about that new beginning. It's like reconfirming that new beginning. And they're like, we want you to go in as if you've never been hurt, as if you've never been betrayed, as if you've never been disappointed. Okay, this is your time. Just go for it. Take the risk, you guys. Go for it. With Neptune and with the 8, I keep wanting to turn it into like the infinity sign, so that's how I'm going to take it. I just feel like, again, this is talking about the unconditional support that you have. 1 in the tarot is the Magician, and the Magician also has this little infinity symbol over them, right? It's like you're being divinely guided. You're being divinely guided. All those ideas or hopes or dreams, they've been placed in you. That's your divine guidance. That's your soul's guidance. So now they're just asking you to take action on them. Don't think that it's some kind of a weird, out of nowhere hope or something like that, or a dream or a fantasy. Like, no, it was actually a divinely placed idea. If you want to start a YouTube channel, if you want to start some kind of a tech company, if you want to start pursuing some kind of a creative endeavor like painting, art, music in a more professional sense, or turning it into a professional sense, you're given these ideas because they're divinely placed. It's divine guidance. It's supposed to lead you somewhere. Even if the outcome is not what you thought it would be, the whole point is it is the road that you're meant to take to get you to where you're going to be happiest. Okay, guys? So that was your reading, Group 1. I hope you enjoyed. If it resonated with you, I would love to hear from you down in the comments down below, specifically what part was coming out. This did feel a little bit like being called out, you know, and it's interesting because you guys chose the tea, so it's like the tea was spilled, you know what I'm saying? Or as it says, spill tea. Yeah, so let me know what you guys thought of the reading, if it resonated with you. Again, if you're interested in these custom crystal bracelets, okay, all of the links to purchase either a private reading or the bracelets, or to inquire about them, would be listed down below. You can reach out to me through social media, email, or through my website. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed, I would love to hear from you guys again in the comments about that. And if you can like and give a subscribe to keep posted on all of the new things that will be coming onto this channel, which I have big plans for this channel, so I'm very excited about that. It's not just going to be focused on tarot, but other spiritual growth things. So yeah, so you can subscribe to stay tuned and keep up to date with what's going on. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, Group 1. Don't be so hard on yourself. Open yourself up in your heart and love to trust, okay? Not open your heart and love, sorry. Open yourself up and your heart up to trust, okay? And yeah, have a blessed day, guys. Bye. Hi, group 2. So this is your group. If you chose high key, I'm gonna give you a little close-up of the card one more time. And I'm going to set it to the side. And also here is a close-up of your stone. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this is one of my favorite stones that I have picked from outside. I have a couple of stones that I picked from outside, but yeah, this be a favorite. Oh, I have the stone from group 1 still over here. Didn't realize that. But yes, here we go. So I'm gonna be right back, you guys. I'm just gonna shuffle out all of your cards, and yes, toodles. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, group 2. So this reading is actually kind of split into 2 portions. There's the tarot portion and the oracle card portion. We're gonna start with the tarot portion. And something I wanted to say as I was shuffling out your cards, I feel like one of the things that came through was you guys are becoming more clairvoyantly sensitive, or your clairvoyance is increasing. So clairvoyance is psychic sight. I feel like you guys are probably already starting to kind of see things. Maybe it started out as like seeing rainbows that aren't there, you know, or seeing little hearts or little stars or clouds or keys. Or kittens, puppies, I don't know, like just seeing things that aren't really there, and you're like, oh, I could have sworn, or like, whoa, there's a rainbow in my room, and you're like, no, there isn't. I thought that was the light, but there was nothing even there, you know? So I kind of feel like you guys, your clairvoyance is really becoming stronger, and it's activating even more powerfully, okay? And the cards that you got for the tarot are the Lovers, the King of Swords, the Page of Pentacles. And I just want to say your cards, especially with your tarot portions, came out basically instantly. Like it's been time for you to hear this message, okay? Like it's been time, because I feel like something that I also felt during the shuffling, especially towards the end, was a lot of indecisiveness, or like a panic of how somebody may perceive. Yeah, like panic of how someone may perceive you. And so like indecisiveness of whether I should or shouldn't, you know. And it's kind of like, it makes me think a little bit of group 1, but group 1 was definitely different from you guys, in the sense that group 1 was afraid of taking action because of being hurt. But I feel like you guys are kind of like you're like right there, you know, you're on the line, and you're just like, do I step back or keep moving forward? For some of you, because again, it's a general reading, but yeah, I feel like that is the message for some of you, about the indecisiveness. But again, it's also kind of like you feel it, but I feel like you guys are really going with your guidance, and you're doing it anyway, you know? So like, kudos to you, applause, because you're actually taking action even though you're uncomfortable, even though you're not sure, or you're feeling indecisive. And even the action that you take in your indecisive state is still the correct thing to do, at least at the moment for now, because you're so highly guided, and your clairvoyance increasing is just a sign of that. We have the Queen of Pentacles. You guys have a lot of people. The Fool. Yeah, like for real, you have a lot of people. I mean, look at that. This is all, I mean, I know all the cards have people, but these are all like facing front and forward, you know, like these 3 are court cards. The Fool is this individual. Then you have the Lovers. We have Temperance, Ace of Cups, 3 of Pentacles, King of Swords. Oh, again, I haven't looked at the cards, so I only saw a couple of them if they flipped when they fell out, but for the most part I was putting them face down. The Queen of Wands. Again with these court cards coming through for you guys. The 5 of Staves, so that's the 5 of Wands, which is interesting because on the back of the Rider-Waite tarot, you guys got the 5 of Wands as well. And on the back of like 2 other tarot cards, you got the Death cards, You also have the Four of Swords on the back of this one. So I noticed I was paying attention more to the backs of your cards than other groups. Like I'm also seeing like here, this is an oracle card, but start where you are. Your greatest work is your legendary legacy, you know, and I just saw you're perfectly imperfect, and awakening knowledge, divination. And I'm gonna, you know, since I'm already showing you all the backs, let me just show you the two death cards that came through, right? The two death cards. And temperance underneath one of them as well. And with your two final cards, you have Eight of Wands and the Apprentice of Vessels, which is the Page of Cups, which is funny because, I'll tell you in a second. I'll tell you why it's funny in a second. Here, I'll put it like this. Because underneath this Five of Wands is also the Page of Cups. Oh my goodness, and the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands. Okay, I'm gonna stop pulling from the bottom because it's just gonna, yeah. Okay, you guys, you've got some exciting things happening for you. Let me again, I keep forgetting that I want to make sure all of you guys can see all of the cards. I keep forgetting there's like so much real estate of space on this side that I just don't use. And it's funny too, because your cards, like I said, most of them came out instantly, and once after that I kept shuffling and nothing would come. Because they were just like, yep, this is the point. This is what we've been trying to say. So for you guys, what Divine would like for you to hear. Okay. It's interesting because this is really making me think of the last pick a card reading that I did for what is the healing focus for the month of October. And that one is on my Milka, like my other channel. That's like the second to last reading that's going to be on that channel before everything is fully transferred over in regards to tarot over here to NutAeum. So this makes me think of that first group, because I do kind of feel like that first group had the King of Swords come up multiple times, and this was like somebody in their life that cared about them deeply, that's trying to give them space. You know, this is how it's coming through in your reading right now, okay? So I kind of feel like this King of Swords is somebody in your life. But yes, what I feel like Divine wants or would like for you to hear right now is actually a message of, it's about your love life, you guys. It really is about your love life. And I don't just say that because the Lover's card is here, okay? I'm not one of those people that sees the Lover's card and instantly tries to interpret it for love. In fact, sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of resist that because I'm like, I don't know, that's just, if the Lover's card came out every single time, it always means love. Not always, you know, it has a bunch of different meanings. But when I see it, I see it. And now the Lover's card is really talking about you coming into a union with a soul family member, like a soulmate, you know, soul family. And it's interesting because we have a bunch of soulmates, right? But soul family, like that's deeper than just a regular soulmate. That is like, we're cut from the same cloth, you and I, you know. I don't know why I said it like that, but that's how I said it, and that's how I will continue to talk if I have to. It just came through as if the person was saying that, you know. I feel like they're the type of person that would be into like Game of Thrones or like medieval Renaissance era things and stuff, you know, like they like the whole kings and queens, older worlds, like Lord of the Rings kind of style of things. But yeah, so I feel like the message for you guys is a love message. It is a love message. I feel as though you guys are kind of new at love, or you're kind of new to it. Either if you haven't been in a relationship, then you haven't been in a relationship in a long time, or the relationships you've been in were either situationships or they never really made it past like a month or two, max 3. I don't think you've ever been in like a completely super committed, serious, real relationship. where the person is really there with you, you know, because I think for the most part you could have been with people or interested in people who were unavailable on some level, right? Because you guys weren't 100% ready for a romantic relationship, but the universe and your guides are kind of saying to you now, like, you're ready. Like, you may think you still have a couple of things you need to work on, but you're ready, you know. And I feel like your heart is expanding, your heart is opening, and it's calling in this union for you, this counterpart. With this Temperance card, I'm just getting a counterpart. And it's interesting too, because not only was the Lovers a clue for me that this really is a love reading for you guys, and it's a message about love and romance, but this deck, for whatever reason, in particular for me, right, this deck especially kind of has an association with love readings. I use it for other readings too, but the fact that I have this, like this deck, the energy that it gives me is like, we like working on romance or love, you know? So the fact that the deck was giving that energy, and you guys have a lot of cards from this deck, right? Which is, you have about the same in the Rider-Waite and this deck. The Rider-Waite tends to come out with the most. So you guys have the most with this so far, you know? Because the last group only had like 2 or 3 or something, but you guys have 5. Then I knew, I was like, ooh, this may be a love reading. And it is a love reading. I feel like, okay. I feel like also one of the messages from Divine, right? Okay, for sure with these last 2 cards, like this person is coming in. This person is coming in, you guys. They're coming into your life with 8 of Wands and the Apprentice of Vessels. They're going to come in like, I feel like they're going to come in so smooth and completely out of nowhere. You're not going to expect it, which, I mean, that may be annoying to hear, right? Because we hear that all the time. You won't expect it. You won't expect it. Because you're not supposed to expect these kinds of things usually, right? But yeah, you're not going to expect it. So don't go looking for this person. Just know that it is coming. Like, this person is coming. Like, I get this excited energy, as if like, yeah, I'm just getting such an excited energy, like, I'm gonna be in your life soon, I'm gonna meet you soon. You know, it does kind of feel like a new person for the majority of you. If it is somebody old, it could be somebody from like way back when you were a kid. You haven't spoken to them in many years, but to be completely honest, I feel like it's a new guy or gal for you guys. I also feel like they're super quirky, because I'm just coming out with the quirkiest thing. But remember how I was saying you're excited? I mean, not you. I mean, you could be excited too, but like, they're excited. It's funny because you guys chose high key, right? And look at the definition: totally, intensely, excitedly, openly doing something, right? But intensely, excitedly, like that for me is like excited, you know? Like high key, like, I don't know, it's just, there's so much excitement here. There's so much excitement for you guys. It makes me excited. Like, this is a great reading. I love it. And you know what? I'm seeing hearts everywhere. I know this is a, like, based off of hearts, but there's like a heart which you can't see in this celestite or celestine, or however, whatever the stone is called, I'm forgetting it. And this labradorite that I have here, which by the way is a heart shape. I didn't even pay attention to that, but there's like a little heart that I just noticed in this little tip, which again, you can't see, but I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it for you. And you guys chose one of the most well-defined hearts, you know. It's no wonder this is a love reading. Yeah, with the 3 of Pentacles, I feel like the only thing that Divine wants you to focus on right now, right, is just continuing to, even with this Queen of Wands, look how excited she is. She's like, oh my gosh, I did it. Yes, you know. It's like you stop doubting yourself and all of this. And the only thing that Divine really wants you to focus on right now is continuing to affirm that you are ready to receive. Because really your heart is expanding because you've been putting in the effort, the work, you know, whether you realize it or not, whether you were doing it consciously or not, you've been putting in the work. And you've been nurturing yourself to the point where you can see that you deserve love. And I just saw 121. Oh my gosh, that was the thing that was happening in group 1 of that other reading, the October reading. They had like a 202, you know, like it's like you and your person are mirroring, and then there's like the thing in between, which is the universe, you know, like one and then the two and the one. So yeah, so that's funny. So maybe some of you guys want to go see that reading, or you came from that channel, from that reading, and are picking this group. But yeah, so I feel like the biggest thing that divine wants you to know is like it's coming. Okay, it's coming for you. Love is coming. Just keep in that state of gratitude. And even if you weren't, you're not going to prevent it. Like there's nothing that you can do to stop this person from coming into your life. Okay, timing wise, they're not giving me a timing, because I think that's part of the unexpectedness of it all, right? Even here with the Fool, it's like new beginnings. It's just like you are completely ready for love. Like I think you guys may think that you're close to being ready, possibly, or like you want it, but you're like, okay, I can see how there's a couple more things I've got to fix in me, or whatever. Fix, right? You're not fixing, you're just healing. But yeah, I just feel like this Fool energy especially is just giving it all right now. And it's like, no girl, you're gonna work on this person. And I say girl like in a not, you know, just as a term of slang. But yeah, like with this Three of Pentacles, I feel like they're just indicating, you know, like the rest of the work you guys have got, you're gonna be doing it together. You see, like the rest of the work is you're doing it together. Like you still feel like there's still stuff you've got work to do on within yourself. That's great, you know, and this person is here supporting you, holding this thing up while you weave and heal. And like even you could possibly be starting a family with this person, because I'm not going to lie to you guys, I feel like for a lot of you, this could be the one. Like it is the one, you know what I'm saying? Like future spouse kind of one. I also feel like with this King of Swords, whoever this person is in your life, whether it's a friend, a relative, whoever, it's somebody who cares deeply about you, you know, and I think they're giving you your space because you're just out there living your life. Look at you getting excited about things, exploring, doing things on your own for yourself. You're like getting out there, getting out into the world, right? And so this person, this King of Swords, they get that. And they're giving you your space and your time, but they miss you, they love you, and they try not to think about you, but they think about you often, you know. So it's nice, it's kind that you guys have such a caring person in your life, you know what I mean? Like somebody that gets it. So I wonder if you guys even know who this person is. I think you guys probably would know who it is, because this seems like this is somebody who is used to having you in their life, or they have some kind of a presence in your life. Again, friend, relative, and they're giving you space. So I'm sure you would probably know who's giving you space. Now let's take a moment to talk about this Five of Wands before we just go into your oracle cards. With this Five of Wands, I feel like, and the fact that it came up twice, right? And the Four of Swords, I want to talk about this too, because even though this was on the bottom of the deck, and the death cards that came out, right? The start where you are. First of all, it is a clear sign like you guys are ready. You're ready, okay? Everything else you're going to gain on the journey in union together. But you guys are ready now. Your greatest works, your legendary legacy, you know, you are your legacy. Like, it's a lot, you know, it's a lot. Awakening, knowledge. I keep reading knowledge as Kundalini for you guys for some reason. So I feel like you guys really are going through some kind of a heart expansion, spiritual awakening. And that's kind of what is bringing forth this person, because the rest of the journey you've got is to go through kind of already knowing them. And with the two death cards from the backs of the decks again, and with this Four of Swords, the Four of Swords is a healing card. I mean, look at this person. This person is like in their nest, they're healing their heart. And usually, like, I don't know, I see it a little differently each time, but I feel like in this sense, they're kind of showing that you're letting, your heart is out there. Like you've taken out the swords, you've been working on healing it, and that is what has facilitated this person coming in. you know. And with those death cards, you guys have gone through your transition. You're really putting an end to that chapter, you know. And then we have the Three of Cups underneath too. Okay, so that was your tarot portion. Okay, guys, and this is so exciting. This is so cute with this person coming in. Like, they're so excitedly coming in, you guys. And they're going to put in the effort, too. They're going to put in the effort because they know what it means to earn somebody, and when they know what it means to value someone, you know, and to consider somebody worthy. And they really think of you as, like, the sun, the moon, and the stars. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think this person can really be into Kundalini. Well, into Game of Thrones. But maybe they're into Kundalini stuff too. Maybe they can have their own little spiritual awakening, or they could be spiritual. Or, to be completely honest with you guys, earlier when I said that they were coming, I was saying it in like such a pure way, but I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay, like, I felt the innuendo there. I felt the innuendo. It just, like, out of nowhere, you know, like, so with Kundalini and the whole excitement about coming into your life, and the way that it came through, one of the times that I said it, I was like, ooh, let me keep this PG-13, you know what I'm saying? But since they just mentioned the Kundalini thing again, I think, and with this person, right? So I think this is just an indicator that this person may have a very high sex drive, you know? So, okay, that's a thing about them. They have a very high sex drive. With this Five of Wands, which I never really addressed, I realized, before we get into your oracle cards, this Five of Wands, what is you saying? Okay, so take this as it resonates. It's not meant to sound scary or anything, okay, guys? I just feel like there could be a possibility that some of the relatives may not necessarily welcome this person into their lives with open arms. What I mean by that, I think it can have to do for some of you with certain prejudices, like maybe culturally or religion-wise or ethnicity or something. Like, let's be real, you know, like racism, sexism, all this stuff, like discrimination, it's not nice, but there are a lot of people that still experience that, and a lot of it has to do with certain cultures. Every culture has their own form of discrimination or racism. So I just feel like these people that are coming into your life, they could differ from you to the point that, like, you could have certain relatives that are not for it, you know, but it's okay, because this is like your ultimate union, right? So your ultimate union has nothing to do with the people in your life. It has all to do with you and what it is that you want for yourself. And I feel like the relatives that count, that mean the most, the family that means the most, are going to be welcoming of this person, because they're going to see how much this person is kind and caring and loving to you when it's time for you to introduce them to your family. I also feel like the relatives that are kind of talking against it on some low-key level, even though this is high-key, right? Your card is high-key, are coming from a place of jealousy, because I think they can see the potential of this union. And so for them, also please ignore my nails, okay? Like, I just randomly became so self-conscious of my nails, so I need to trim them. Please don't look. I don't know why I said that. It would have been better if I didn't, but I feel like that's part of the reading, you know? So I feel like maybe that's you guys getting a little insecure sometimes about, like, maybe if you're letting them know about your family, your person, you're like, you know, please don't mind my family. Like, you give them a heads up or a warning, and I just saw 131 too. So again, it's that one, something in between one, you know, you guys are lining up. But yeah, I just feel like you guys are kind of giving them a heads up about your family. It's funny. It kind of makes me think a little bit of my big fat Greek wedding. So yeah, so I feel like a little bit of it comes from jealousy because they can see the potential of the union. I feel like you guys are going to get a lot of onlookers on your union because you guys could be an attractive couple, and I feel like you guys could look really different from each other. I'm not saying complete opposites, but in some way, like it could be something as simple as height, like this person and you could have a very strong height difference. It could be skin tone. It could be like one of you has no tattoos, is super like, you know, baby skin or whatever, and the other person is completely covered in tattoos. One of you could be on the more bigger end and the other person could be a lot more muscular and like slimmer. Like it just seems like one of these things is not like the other, you know, they're kind of going to be different to you in that sort of a regard, which is also why I think a lot of onlookers are going to be judging you guys, because I think they're going to be judging from both ends, like, oh, why is this person with them, or why is that person with them? But again, it comes from a place of jealousy because really those people kind of desire either your relationship or you or them. And I you know what I mean, like apply how it resonates. And I feel like also that comes from wow, I'm having a brain fart. Oh yeah, the jealousy is coming from a place of them seeing what you guys have, and it's sparking the fact that it was something that they also always wanted, but they just feel like they can't have or don't have, or like they deny it to themselves because of their own form of like you guys have done the work, you've done the healing. That's the reason you brought in such a high level union, you know. But these people, they've got a little bit more healing to do for the most part, and they're probably not looking at their wounds, they're projecting onto other people. So I feel like that's another place where that jealousy can come from. But yeah, so that was an in-depth explanation of that Five of Wands that was neglected for some time. So let's get into your oracle cards. You have authority. You needn't worry. Your treasure is at hand. Oh my gosh, you guys, I haven't looked at any of these cards. Same thing with those. Like, I only saw the cards that if they flipped face up. Don't be misled, but it already goes so well with your reading. Oh, this is interesting. The phoenix rises into joyful abundance. This came out in the last group too. Okay. Listen in stillness you meet your true self. I also feel like you guys got less oracle cards for the most part. Like you guys got one from this, you know, like, I don't know, it just feels less than the last group. And then you have the first house. Oh my goodness. Okay. So with authority, I feel like, again, with the whole ascension thing and the kundalini and the awakening, I feel like you guys are really stepping into your sovereignty as divine sovereign beings. Like you guys are just going to be shining brighter and brighter. And I feel like the universe and divine, they kind of want to prepare you for that, because shining brighter means that you get people looking at you. And I think you've been mentally preparing yourself for that by doing your healing work, so you're at a place where you can receive that better. But I just noticed this is going to be a really good time for you in the sense that you're going to be shining. Like you've done the work with this Phoenix card, right? You have risen from your ashes because you actually went into the depths. You asked yourself the scary questions. You questioned your belief systems that held you back, or that could have held you from having the love of a lifetime that you really wanted or desired, right? So you've put in that work, which is why you're coming back brighter than ever. Like you may have gone through a period where you felt like, I need to be completely alone, like recluse, you know, isolation, like I need to preserve my energy as much as possible. And you coming out of that period, I feel like on some level you're going to keep feeling that just a little bit, but I think you're going to be shown constantly like, actually, no, I'm capable of managing all of these things. I'm capable of shining brighter without it taking a toll on me. Because what you were doing when you went into that recluse period really is going into your darkness, into your depth, and having your death and rebirth. Because remember, oh yes, with the Phoenix, that is also death and rebirth. Didn't we? I was telling you, like the two backs were two death cards. So yeah, you know, it was a really, like, you guys have gone through your death and rebirth. Like, you've gone through it, which is why your heart is expanding and why your heart is open to receive divine, sacred, holy, unconditional love. Oh my gosh, you guys, before I continue with your oracle cards, I have these Archangel cards that I always lay out for whenever I do readings. Y'all, I just looked over because I was like, wait a second, this so resonates with the reading. Didn't I tell you in the beginning your clairvoyance was increasing? Didn't I tell you your clairvoyance was increasing? But wait, there's more. Listen to the message. I am helping your spiritual sight to awaken fully so you can clearly see heavenly love. Okay, like you guys are actually being able to receive now, right? Because it's part of your, like, it all goes together, your ascension, your kundalini rising and awakening. And part of that, I'm not going to lie to you, is going to be like the sexual energy within you and your partner rising and awakening. But you needn't worry, you know, it's all going to go in perfect divine time when you guys are ready. But yeah, I just, I love synchronicities. I love synchronicities. Okay. So I feel like either you or your person are quirky, because I've done a bunch of quirky things, okay? And I feel like you guys may sometimes be a little insecure around your person. You can have a little bit of insecurities. They're going to make you feel super comfortable, but I think these are just kind of a you thing, you know? So I feel like with those insecurities, like your person is going to find that endearing, you know? They're going to be like, oh, that's cute. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't even something you had to mention, but you mentioned it, and I think it's cute. Like, they don't judge you at all, you know? They think it's cute. Listen, in stillness you meet your true self. Yeah, with this card, even with the number 18, right? That's like the moon in tarot. And I just feel like you guys have, again, with the awakening, knowledge, divination, this is just like, if you ever get to a point where there is a little bit of overwhelm, you are your inner calm, you are your tranquility, you are your peace. So I feel like this just ties in with that authority and that sovereignty that I was mentioning with you guys. You guys have this divine energy and presence around you. You command a space, and I feel like you guys are finally coming into that. So again, I'm so proud of you. Okay, now with the you needn't worry, and again with y'all, with this first house, right? The first house is a new beginning. It is a new beginning in the physical world. This is the physical body, right? Your physical vessel is the first house. So your appearance. Again, I feel like you guys have just gone through this rebirth. So some of you guys may be dressing differently. Some of you guys may be taking up how your appearance looks, not in a superficial, like insecure way, but just because you feel passionately, or you feel like a wave of inspiration or encouragement within yourself to just start dressing differently or expressing yourself through your physical appearance more, taking care of yourself physically more, you know? All's good, all's good. And now with these, you have you needn't worry. And I feel like this has to do with your person. Like, I feel like you guys can get in your head a little bit. Like, you've, again, overcome a lot of that, right? With the whole listen, inner stillness, all of this. You've overcome a lot of that. But I think because, like I said, like, this feels like you guys haven't been in a relationship in a while. So I feel like you can get just so excited about it that you get a little butterflies and a little nervous and anxious. It's cute. It's really cute. It's like if you watched a movie and you saw two people that liked each other and one of them was like, you know, tripping over stuff and stuttering because, you know, it's cute. And I feel like the other person is normally confident, but they're going to come across a little off their game too because of the nerves. You know, they're just better at hiding it, okay? But yeah, so it's kind of like, you don't have to worry, you know, like anything you do is not going to be embarrassing for this person. Like, they get it. They get you're having a human experience, you know, like they understand because they feel the same way about you on the inside, okay? And it says, there's no one in your life who hasn't always loved you. They're all just learning how to show it. Big sillies, the universe. Oh my gosh, didn't I talk about like quirkiness, silliness? Like there's so much emphasis on that, you know, and I guess like they're emphasizing that too, to say that this person is going to accept you exactly as you are, you guys. This is the kind of union that you've been calling in all this time. Oh my goodness, just check the time, 1:41. Again, like I keep looking at the time and it's, again, those numbers, you know. And then your treasure is at hand, like this person is coming. Remember what I said? Like this person is coming. They're coming into your life, okay? Sure, you can always find prettier, handsomer, skinnier, wiser, richer, younger, zippier, but more often than not, one learns the most, laughs the loudest. Oh, wait, sorry. Let me start that over. That came out weird. Sure, you can always find prettier, handsomer, skinnier, wiser, richer, younger, zippier, but more often than not, one learns the most, laughs the loudest, and smiles the widest with those they've already found, especially when they stop looking elsewhere. Actually, zippier is on quite a few lists. Tally ho, the universe. Okay. So again, I kind of feel like in addition to the whole your person is coming, this is just an extra emphasis on the fact that they're going to be different from you. So I feel like they're kind of prepping you to be willing to accept them. And it's not that they're going to be different from you in the sense that like it's something so crazy that you would never, ever accept someone like that, like a narcissist or something like that, not in an unhealthy way, you know, or somebody that you would never find attractive or something. Like, no, I feel like the attraction between you guys, especially the sexual attraction, I'm not gonna lie, is gonna be like fire on fire on fire on fire on fire, and wood added to the fire, and paper added to the fire, and oil added to the fire on fire on fire on fire. It's gonna be very passionate. So I don't think it's like you worrying about not finding this person attractive or anything along those lines. I think it's just more so they're going to be different. So brace yourself for that. And then don't be misled. When fear speaks, it's always wrong, unless being chased by wildebeests. And when love speaks, it's always right, and usually bouncy. Game on, the universe. So again, I feel like the don't be misled and the whole fear speaks thing, that's just more so your insecurities over anything else. So again, that's why they keep mentioning like that whole inner peace and all of this stuff. It's like you've been putting in so much effort to get out of your comfort zone, to get out of your head, to try new things, right? So, okay, like same thing with this union, you know? You've been doing all these things to overcome your mind, to step out of your mind, to step out of that mental chatter and just be in the present, right? 44, just saw 44. So again, it's kind of like, yeah, keep doing that. You know what I mean? Do the same thing with the relationship. Nothing makes this any different than all the other unexpected or out of the ordinary, out of comfort zone things that you have already been doing. Okay, this is just an add-on to that. All of those things were like preparation in a sense to also add this into your life. You know what I mean, guys? Like I'm feeling a little awkward or shy talking about this. So I just kind of feel like you guys are really kind of stepping out of your comfort zone with this one. But don't worry, okay? They're going to love you. This is going to be like the union of a lifetime that you've always wanted, that you've prayed for, that you secretly desired, even when you said at certain points that you didn't want to be in a relationship or whatnot, okay? So don't worry about it. And again, like the most important people in your life, they're going to accept this person right away. Like friends are going to accept this person right away, unless they're friends that had jealousy already towards you and they kind of see how good the union is between the two of you and, you know, they drop out. So don't worry about it, okay, guys? It's anyone who doesn't accept the two of you guys, first of all, who gives a crap? You know what I mean? Like, who cares? It's your union. And secondly, usually like 9 times out of 10, it is because of a factor of jealousy, because they're seeing something in your union that they feel like they had to deny themselves or they couldn't have, which is not true, but it's like a self-inflicted kind of thing. You know what I mean? And let's just get the final messages with some dice. Okay. Oh my goodness, y'all. We have Libra. I guess I'll show them to you. Libra. The number 1. North Node. And 10. Ta-da-da-da. With the 10, it's like reminding me of that authority card, right? And it's funny because the 10th house in astrology is like up here. You know what I mean? It's like one of these two. I think it's 12, 11, 10. Yeah, right here. You know what I mean? It's the high. It's the highest card. It's like you are becoming a rising sun. A rising sun. I was going to say a rising star, but a star and a sun are the same thing, and they kind of emphasized sun over here, like you're a rising sun. I guess because the sun shines brighter on our earth than any other star does. You know, it is our main star. So you're becoming like the it factor. You know what I'm saying? You're becoming the it factor. With the North Node, I feel like that's also emphasizing that you're just stepping into your truth, into your purpose. With Libra, that is talking about like that union, that balance. It's like, don't worry. And it's also the balance in your life. Like, don't worry. You're going to be able to manage all of the things that you're doing, all of the new things you're doing for yourself, the things that you're doing for your creativity, the things that you're doing for your healing, family, friends, this relationship. I guess it really is a reunion for you guys, because again, the whole soul family thing. So this, I'm going to say reunion again, but whatever. Yeah, this reunion, your career, like all of this stuff, you're going to be able to juggle it. You're going to be able to handle it and balance it. So don't worry. The number 1, that's the, I was going to say the alchemist, but it is an alchemist, right? Which is similar to like a phoenix. The transmutation is what they do. But it's the magician. The magician is a master of all of the suits, of the swords, the cups, the pentacles, the wands, right? That's all the elements. That's all the aspects of their life. They're a master of that. And that was a confirmation. Okay, yeah, guys, sorry for the weird cut at the end. But yes. So that was your reading. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, I would love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. If there is anything in particular that really resonated with you. Also, if you enjoyed, please feel free to like and subscribe to be up to date on all the other readings that I post and all the other stuff that I've got planned for this channel or channel. And again, if you're interested in one of these custom crystal bracelets, all the links on how you can or a private reading, by the way, all the links on how you can contact me are listed down below, either through social media, email, or my website. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, group 2. Bye, guys. Hi, group 3. Welcome to your reading. This is your group if you chose basic. Ernie is so basic, he literally thinks Facebook is hip. Yes, this is your reading. And also, if you chose this stone that I got from Montauk, this heart. Okay, you guys, before I even get into shuffling your cards and all of that stuff, I just wanted to say I had to make a note for you guys. I'm gonna set your stuff to the side for now, but I had to make a note for you guys because when I was showing you your stone or your card or something, I remember I had an eyelash on my finger, and y'all, I got such a message about you. The biggest thing that I got about you is, I'm pulling up my phone because I made a note of it, is that you guys are cheesy romantics, like hopeless romantics, okay? Dreamers, like you make wishes on stars and eyelashes. You guys probably like Disney movies. They could possibly be your guilty pleasure, okay? I'm also seeing like Tinkerbell and pixie dust. So like fairies and wishes coming true, like something about dreams and wishes. Okay, so yeah, you guys, y'all are my hopeless romantics, okay? So I'll be right back with your cards. Okay, group 3, I am back. And something I want to say before we get into your cards, we're going to be doing your pile a little bit differently because 2 of the decks that I was going to use, which I'm planning on using on every group, for some reason, they were like, nope, not for you guys. Also, you guys have a little bit less cards, so before I was doing, for other groups, I was doing it as, first we look into the tarot, then we look into the oracle cards separately, but because of the situation, I feel like for you guys, it's just gonna all lay out here. I also wanted to mention, You guys are so cheesy and corny. You guys feel like a big little child. Like your inner child is very much alive. You guys are so playful, okay? I kept getting this impatience with you guys, and it's because of excitement. It's like, oh my gosh, when is it gonna come in? When is it gonna come in? You know, like a little kid. And I've also got, I was like singing a lot, you know? So like sing-songy, like musicals. Maybe some of you guys are like, you know, Broadway kids, musical kids. You love to sing and dance, you know, all that kind of stuff. To perform, I feel like you guys are performers, possibly, quite possibly, okay? I'm also getting like jazz hands and whatnot. But yeah, let's get into your cards, you guys. So this is what does Divine want you to know. So we have the Six of Swords, the Seven of Swords, the Six of Wands, the Three of Pentacles, the Alchemist, which is the Magician card, the Ace of Staves, which is the Ace of Wands. I'll put it here. I'll just shift these over. Hopefully it's in alignment and not like crooked. We have the Fool. You fool. Okay, Three of Wands. Sorry, I don't know where that came from, but the Crown of Coins, which is the King of Pentacles. The Future. Hubba Hubba. And it makes me think of the bubble gum, actually. You needn't worry. The Hubba Bubba bubble gum, I think that's what it is. Out of the mess comes elegant order. Yeah, I feel like you guys are a little bit chaotic, to be completely honest with you. And I think it's because of that whole creativity / inner child alive thing. You feel a little bit chaotic, you know? Like, I'm sure, like, because of the whole inner child vibe, you're just, it's like sporadic stuff, you know? And then listen, in stillness you meet your true self, which is interesting with the last card that just came out. It also came up in the last group. And your last card is your 11-year-old self. I'm so sorry. Your 3-year-old self, not 11. Your 3-year-old self. Okay. I'll put that here. So, group 3. Ironically enough, your 3-year-old self is also the number group that you chose. I feel like you guys are super into aesthetics too. But what does Divine want you to know? Well, first of all, with the chaos that we were talking about for you guys and like the creativity, right? I feel like you guys organize your stuff in chaotic order. I don't know how to explain that any better. Like, it may look like a mess to others, but it's an organized mess to you. You know what I mean? With the with these oracle, I don't, oh, it's a little confusing because I have all the oracle cards out at the same time as the tarot, and all the other readings I started with the tarot, but I'm going to start with the oracle cards for you guys. So I feel like the message here, especially with these two cards, is instead of like judging your process, right? Because maybe some of you guys are like, oh, maybe I should be more of an adult. Maybe I should grow up. Maybe I should be more organized and do this and that and that. But that's so boring, blah, blah, blah. You know, like maybe you have this inner conversation with yourself or this inner dialogue. So I feel like they're saying, don't judge your process, you know? You're like a creative genius. Your messiness or whatever it is, like the chaos that is around you, that's part of your process, you know? Not many people can navigate their world through that kind of a chaos. And all those cars honking, that's just confirmation. But you guys have kind of lived with it your whole life, so you somehow found a way to manage it all in such a beautifully nonsensical kind of way, you know? I do feel like if you do start having anxiety though, or like anxious moments, they're asking you to like try to find your inner calm. I feel like for you guys, I'm getting a lot of like creativity, but especially painting. I feel like painting can be very soothing for you, very help you get out of your head and just get things on paper. You need some kind of physical art form. If it's not painting, could be drawing or like pottery or macrame or crocheting or what is oh my goodness, it is like on the tip of my tongue. Paper mache kind of thing. Sculpting, which is like pottery, I guess, in a way. I mean, they're not the same thing, but you know, whatever. You know, even just working with like Play-Doh or whatever, I feel like doing things with your hands, like doing something where you can physically see an outcome, not just hear it, but like physically see it, is going to be a really good release for you guys with all of that energy. Okay, with the 3-year-old self, I feel like, again, they're saying like, don't judge the fact that you're a kid. I think that's one of the most lovable things about you. I'm also getting that a message that Divine wants you to know or hear, again, is with the Alchemist, it just feels like you are the perfect person to organize this chaotic mess. Like, you're the only one who can make orderly sense of it. So it could be a little bit hard for you guys to, if you're like doing some kind of a work project or something like that and you need help, it could be hard for you to incorporate other people because you're kind of the only person who understands your mess. But I think because you have to do it on your own, it actually comes out a lot better because you get to put in your creative flair, which no other person would ever be able to do for you. You know what I mean? So it can sometimes feel a little annoying having to do certain things on your own, but I feel like that's kind of part of the reason of why your things are so unique and so catered to you, and why they're so true and authentic to who you are, because I feel like representation of who you are is extremely important to you guys. Again, with the Ace of Staffs, I'm really getting that you guys are super creative. There's a lot of creative energy within you, and it needs some kind of an outlet, you know? So get your creativity out on paper. Get your creativity out. Maybe it's writing for some of you guys, or like journaling. Just get it out, you know? I'm also, this is so weird, but I feel like some of you guys, I feel like this is super specific too, so it may only apply to like 1 or 2 people. But I just heard like riddles, that you guys are good at making or creating riddles. So I don't know who that's relevant for. I feel like that is so specific. So if you're the riddle master or the riddle person, please comment down below and let me know. I would love to know. But yes, and oh, you know what's so funny? I was just talking about riddles and riddle master, and then we have the Fool, which kind of makes me think of like a, you know, a fool or a riddler, or like a jester in a court. You know, I feel like you guys are so silly, and you're so funny and energetic, and you get a lot of, and you're quirky too, you know, so you get a lot of people laughing. I feel like people look at you as like sunshine, or, you know, like they always know that they can have a good laugh when you're there. I also kind of feel like sometimes maybe you get a little bit stuck in that persona of who you are, even though it's who you truly are, but maybe you feel like you kind of have to be always on when you get into a place of insecurity. So I feel like they're saying you don't have to worry, you don't have to be always on, okay? And I feel like you guys are a lot more attractive than you let on. I feel like you don't even realize how many people notice you, you know? Yeah, I'm just getting such like I heard Playboy, but I didn't mean Playboy. I mean like gestury kind of vibe from you guys. Like you guys are really into jokes. Maybe some of you guys are like a little like, you like, oh, you know what it is? You guys like playing pranks. Like you like doing pranks. I want to say practical pranks, but that's not it. I feel like you guys are so, like you guys are pranksters, you know, you like to do something to mess with people, not in a way to actually hurt them, but like kind of as a joke, you know, like, yeah, I'm just seeing you guys like to do pranks, you know, and you guys are like really funny and quirky, and I feel like you guys have a really bright future ahead of you with a lot of success. So it's interesting that what Divine really wants you to know right now is just a little bit about yourself and kind of like emphasizing that it's okay. Like it's great that you're you, and good things are coming for you, you know? But honestly, I feel like that is kind of your reading. You guys had a really quick, like super quick and simple reading. But yeah, I feel like they're also asking you to get ready and start kind of planning for the future. For the future that you want, because you're coming into a time where you can manifest it. And you know, let me just read the backs of these two cards for you guys. So for Hubba Hubba, it says, you know that dreamy look of deep, soulful love you've sometimes seen in the eyes of another as they gazed into your own. Expect a lot more of it. Woohoo! Universe. And with you needn't worry, it says, there's no one in your life who hasn't always loved you. They're all just learning how to show it. Big sillies, the universe. So again, I feel like the biggest thing here is like your quirkiness, or like denial of that hopeless romanticness, or like that big, like how I was saying, like Disney and all that stuff is a guilty pleasure. You know, like you guys are like, I'm a grown up, I should be more adult. Like maybe it's time for me to grow up, you know? I feel like maybe some of you guys started questioning that, like, should I be growing up? And it's like, no, like that's what's so great about you is you keep, yes, have your mature moments, right? Get that management skill underhand, but that's the beauty about you guys, is that you can just be, like that's what gets people to you. That's what draws people to you. And I feel like that's what's gonna get you success, because you're just being authentically yourself. So you're bringing in the people that you're meant to work with, that are perfect for you to work with. You know what I mean, guys? Yeah, that was your reading. I'm going to roll the dice too for you, just because I do this for everyone. Let's see what we've got. We have Mercury, the number 12, 15, and Sagittarius. Okay, yeah, with Mercury, again, like I'm just getting such like prankster, jokey vibes. Like you guys are super quick-witted, you're super funny, okay? And I feel like your mind is like, again, with that like chaos, out of the mess comes elegant order, right? With that chaos energy I was telling you about, like your mind is, it's like running at 1,000 miles per second, it feels like, you know? And you're the only one who can make sense of it. And sometimes it can feel like a burden, I'm assuming, because it's a lot to handle. It can be exhausting, you know, but I feel like that's where they're saying, like when it gets exhausting, you know it's exhausting because it turns into anxiety, okay? But if it's not anxiety, it's kind of your regular state. I don't think many people can handle the mental stuff, the mental capacity that you guys have, you know what I mean? It's actually quite admirable, really. Yeah, I'm really getting such air sign qualities from you guys, like Libra, Gemini, possibly Aquarius, but it's leaning more towards Libra and Gemini for me. I'm not saying those are the signs that you have to be, I'm just saying that's like the energy that I'm getting from you guys. With the 15 in tarot, that's the devil card, but to be completely honest, this just kind of feels like the heaviness of your own mind. I feel like your mind is so powerful. You guys are so quick-witted, you're so intelligent, like you're so smart, and just you're so sharp, you know? But sometimes it can turn into a bit of a heavy burden, which is why that 15 is coming in with that. I also feel like with the 15, it kind of indicates a little bit of kink for you guys. Like I feel like you guys could possibly be the kinky pile, even though, which is so funny, right? Because I was just getting like such cinnamon roll vibes from you guys in the beginning of the reading, but it's like, no, not just a cinnamon roll, I'm a spicy cinnamon roll. You know, so that's kind of funny. So yeah, so I think it's also kind of like it's okay to embrace the kink or whatever within you. With the 12, I am having such a brain fart. What is the 12? Oof. 14 is temperance, 13 is death. The Hanged Man. Yeah, so with the 12 here, I just feel like it is, oh, and you know what? This is also Pisces, but I kind of interpreted it as the Hanged Man, so we're going to look at it as the Hanged Man. I feel like with the Hanged Man energy, right, it's all about kind of like taking a breather, taking a chill pill, kind of just like doing something. That's why I feel like the art or the creative outlet is extremely important for you guys. Maybe it's like photography even, because it's helping you still your mind. Because I feel like every once in a while, you do kind of need to do something completely different from what is normal to you, that just kind of feels like dumb or whatever, so that you can just get out of that state, you know, like something that's completely opposite to take you out of that state. Even if it's not something that you would normally do, or if it's something that you would normally watch or whatever, just to help you ground or get it out of your system. Okay. And with the Sagittarius, I feel like you guys have, again, it's just, you have such an expansive mind. You're so knowledgeable and intellectual. I feel like you guys are so wise too. Like, people probably may not 100% always see that, right? They may discredit it until they hear the wisdom coming out of your mouth, and they're like, wow, you're so wise, you know? And I think it's not that they discredit it, but they may not always assume it because of like that whole inner child thing coming out to play. But yeah, group 3, that was your reading. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments below if it resonated with you. What in particular like rung true the most for you guys. If you do find that you have like a completely chaotic and wild but extremely entertaining mind, you know, intellectual mind. If you guys are interested in these custom bracelets, which I mentioned that I do in the beginning of the video, you can reach out to me about those or about a private reading if you're interested in the links in the bio. So either through my email, through social media, or through my website. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this reading, I would appreciate if you gave it a like, a thumbs up, if you know what I mean, a like, or better yet, if you would like to keep up to date on what's going on with this channel, because I've got a lot of plans for this channel. It's not just going to be tarot. Hit the subscribe button, that would be great. So yeah, group 3, love you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Bye. Hi, group 4. This is your group if you chose the Stan Slang card. Ooh, let's watch the Karate Kid. I stan young Ralph Macchio. I don't know how it's pronounced. I don't know this man's name. Okay, or this stone with the green heart hidden within. Okay, guys, off the bat, I just wanted to say, as I move your card to the side, one of the things that I heard, because for whatever reason, normally I set the cards, then I move them to the side, and then I say, I'll be back, and I actually shuffle out all the cards. But before I started your reading, I felt the need to just shuffle out your cards right away. And I also heard that you guys are practical. Rational or practical. So you guys are my rational group. So, I mean, I guess it is kind of, I just realized, you know, after I started talking about it, I was like, oh, I shuffled the cards ahead of time. That makes sense. That is kind of practical, you know? So we actually can just dive right into your reading. So we're going to start with the tarot, and then we'll get into the oracle cards. But with the tarot, you have the 8 of Pentacles, and I have not seen these cards ahead of time unless they flipped while I was shuffling. The 5 of Pentacles, the 8 of Cups. Oh, you remember how I mentioned the practicality thing? You guys have a lot of Pentacles. Pentacles are earthly qualities, you know, so like Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I'm not saying you're an earth sign. I don't know, I said the signs. But yeah, the 7 of Pentacles, the 9 of Cups. Then you have Justice, the 9 of Swords, the 7 of Staves, which is the 7 of Wands, the 8 of Coins, which is the 8 of Pentacles. So yes, another Pentacles card for you guys. The Daughter of Staves, which is the the Page of Wands. You guys also have, I'm just going to shift this to the side, the 6 of Coins, so 6 of Pentacles. I think Pentacles, we can say safely, is the suit that you have the most of consistently. Then you have the 3 of Swords and the 3 of Cups. Actually, I think I can make better room here, so give me 1 second. Maybe we can do it so it's all in just these 2 rows. 1 second, my friends. Just 1 second. Okay, so what does Divine, what would Divine like you to hear, group 4? Okay, let's see. Remember how I mentioned the practicality? I feel like maybe some of you guys have been having a little bit of a financial struggle, or, you know, maybe it's hard for you to either keep a job or find something that you like. There seems to be a lot of emphasis on money and career. I say career because some of these jobs don't feel like a career, they just kind of feel like a job. And I feel like maybe you could also be struggling even with getting certain mundane tasks done in your day-to-day life, even though you appear as somebody who is super practical. I just think it's hard because though you have all this practical stuff, what's really lacking is the creative expression. You know what I mean? I think that maybe there is a little bit of distress going on in your life currently, or in your mind, but I think that the solution to it, or something that can help aid the distress, would be a creative outlet, which actually, funnily enough, the last group was all about like creativity and all artistry and all of this stuff. So it's interesting, like you guys, and I wanted to say group 3 at some point when I was talking about your reading, but I feel like you guys are so focused on but the reality of the situation, but the practicality of the situation, you know? And when it comes to things where the practicality doesn't matter, and when it comes to things where the practicality is needed, you guys are like so in the air, you know? It feels a little bit like you could be out of balance. So I think what Divine is asking you to do is kind of go within and just address within yourself, right? Like how I keep calling this the hidden green heart. You know what I mean? It's kind of like go within and reveal to yourself exactly what it is that you are kind of hiding from, because I sort of feel as though you project the things that you want onto other people, and there's certain things that you're sort of hiding from, and I think that you deny yourself the thing that you want the most a little bit, you know? Like that's why it feels like you're kind of a little, even though you're practical, it's a little wonky, you know? Again, like the practicality comes in places when it's not necessary, so it turns into a little bit of a downer sometimes. Whereas the place where your fantasies run wild and you talk about your dreams and desires, there seems to be no practical application as to how to get there. That stays kind of like in the dream airy world. So it causes this like inner conflict within you, even though you're such a rational person, which is so contradicting a little bit, you know? I feel like you give other people all these ideas, but again, where I mentioned the projecting, it's kind of like you project your ideas onto them. The things that you want for yourself, since you're not really taking action towards them, you project them, or you say or suggest them to everybody else around you, when really it's kind of like you should be the one taking action on the things that you really want. You know what I mean? With the 3 of Swords and the 3 of Vessels, again, I just feel like that stuckness in your life, that like feeling of not being able to move, or like I'm stuck, I'm still in that same place, the lack of progression, the sensation of the lack of progression. I feel like that can all be not fully resolved, but I feel like you can actually start creating some kind of emotion, right, in your life if you turn to creativity, because I feel like a creative outlet is what's really kind of needed for you guys. Okay, so that seems to be like what Divine kind of wants you to know with the tarot. So let's get into your, oh, that kind of was a little bit of a heavy message. Sorry about that, guys. But alas, 'twas what I was asked to share. Yeah, I feel like even though you guys are super rational, you kind of need to look at the reality of the situation a little bit, you know? I feel like that's what they're calling you out on. Yeah, you hear the sirens? I'm just gonna wait for those to pass. But for your oracle cards, you have the gold spectrum, you have authority, Archangel Camuel with Gateway of Direction. Weren't we just talking about actually taking action and like being a little muddled on like pursuing the things that you want and projecting it onto others? Be true to yourself. That you have options is meaningful. Rock on. You might not know, but you will. Oh, you may not know now. You might not know now, but you will. Yeah, I think one of the reasons why you guys didn't really take action is because you're not really sure how to apply. Like you could advise to other people how to do it, but when it comes to yourself, it's like hard for you to hear your own advice. Ask wonderfully, receive graciously. Wanted, universe creators. And on the bottom, it says cells, organs, body, species, planet, solar system, and galaxy with these Russian nesting dolls. Galactic grandmother. Your greatest work is your legendary legacy. And then you have Libra and Mercury. Yeah, I feel like you guys are an idea person. You're an idea person, but when it comes to practically applying these ideas to yourself, it doesn't really happen so much. With all of this golden energy, that's like divine guidance, divine wisdom. You guys have so much potential, you know? And I feel like you take care of everybody, you nurture everybody, but isn't it time for you to actually get what it is that you want? Like for you to receive your dreams, goals, and aspirations, you know? Isn't it time for you to get that too? As opposed to just giving advice and helping everybody else in regards to theirs and being the support system for everyone else, you know? I feel like right now you kind of may feel like you have a little bit of a lack of support in some ways. But I think it's because the support that you're really looking for is from within. You know what I mean, guys? It's okay to change directions. It's okay to not 100% know exactly what you want or for your ultimate goal to keep changing. That's okay. The most important thing is that you get some kind of an inkling. You see, I just saw 234. That's like all about forward progress. It's like a staircase, right? So and the most important thing is for you guys to just kind of get a little bit of a sense of direction and just go towards it. Those ideas, find one of them, just one of them. You can have multiple ideas that you want to pursue. That's totally okay. The most important thing is just to actually start. I feel like something that can help you guys would be prayer or meditation. Because again, you guys are a creative person. You're an idea person, right? But I feel like when it comes to ideas on how to actually take action for yourself, you're having a little bit of a hard time doing that. So maybe if you pray or ask for some guidance or meditate or go within, you'd be able to get some insight. Because again, right, with the you might not know now, but you will, right? And let me read the back of this for you. Think of someone very, very special to you. Now feel yourself bursting with love for them. Now, mentally shower, drench, and soak them in that love. Now, mentally shower, drench, and soak yourself in my love. Now feel it always, the universe. You see, it's kind of like what I was just saying with the whole, like you give other people, you help nurture their ideas, you support their ideas, but what about you? Isn't it your time? And with this one, the back says, if I could make just 2 wishes, I'd wish I could somehow convey to you the profound depths of my gratitude for every moment of your life. I'd also wish that you could somehow know of your unimaginable importance, just as you now are, to the lives of so very many. And of course, I'd wish for even more wishes. Oh shoot, you were such a good idea, the universe. Okay, guys, and again, I just feel like that's like the support, you know, like they keep bringing it back to you. Like, I think you guys overextend or don't look at yourselves enough by giving into others or projecting or like putting others first, because you genuinely are really caring, you know, like the galactic grandmother. I feel like a lot of people come to you for nurturing, guidance, and advice, and it almost feels like maybe you may feel like you either missed your shot on some level. Maybe you don't think you missed your shot, but I think on some subconscious level, if you really sat down and thought about it, there could be a part of you when you kind of get past the denial and self-protection and ego, because I kind of feel like you guys are stubborn, right? Which is why I was getting like that earth sign energy, especially fixed earth sign, which is like a Taurus. So I feel like you guys are kind of stubborn. So if you look past all of that, you will kind of realize that maybe a part of you feels like you either missed your shot, or it's too late for you, or you can't necessarily do it because you don't have the practical tools to be able to accomplish your dreams. But you can project or give your dreams to other people and then long for them for your own self. You know what I mean? There's something that's a little bit lost in translation there. Just gonna hold on one second, guys. Okay, sorry about that. And then with be true to yourself, it says you may not ever understand what's going on in their life, but you can always figure out what's going on in yours. Tally ho, the universe. So again, I think this is just indicating like you may be projecting your dreams or wants onto other people, or giving your ideas, and be like, why aren't they taking my ideas? Why aren't they taking my advice? My advice is so practical. My advice is so good. And it's like, well, your advice is really good, sure, but maybe it's the advice that you need to be hearing the most right now. And other people kind of have their own advice, you know, because a lot of people kind of turn to you, but maybe recently you've been feeling like the advice that you've been giving has been falling on deaf ears, and you're like, I'm giving so much of myself to them. Why aren't they listening? Why aren't they paying attention? I think that's kind of why. It's because at this point you're meant to be giving to yourself and maybe hearing out other people's advice too. And let's just get the dice as your final message. We have Uranus, the number 15, Leo, and this is 11, but I'm seeing it as Roman numeral number 2. Uranus is all about change, right? It is all about change, and there is a sense, it is air associated. It is associated partially with the mind, not like Mercury, but it is for air signs, right? It's for Aquarius. So I feel like this is, again, you guys are a humanitarian. You guys really want to help the world. You have lots of creative ideas, but your insecurities, your own self-doubts, and basically it kind of feels like you are your own obstacle, you know, your ability to actually commit to something and practically apply, to actually get those ideas out there into the world. So instead of focusing on giving those ideas to other people so that they can just be out in the world, focus with the Leo energy here on bringing it to you, you know, and have a real self-talk with yourself with this number 2, right? Being a high priestess card. Also, the 11 is Aquarius. It's the 11th house, right? Again, emphasizing the humanitarianism, the friend to everyone kind of energy, you know, everyone comes to you. You're everyone's friend. Everyone kind of sees you as a friend or a guide. But the focus again is being brought onto you guys, okay? So what do you need to look at within yourself with the high priestess energy of the 2? That's like meditation again, going within, the calm within, getting to really know yourself, your downfalls, and finding a way to practically get over them. Because I feel like for you guys, you need the practical approach. That's the biggest way that you can get a handle of real life and maneuver it, okay? All right, you guys, that was your reading. I hope you enjoyed. I know it was a little bit of a call out, and I'm sorry about that, but this was what Divine wanted you guys to hear, okay? I also feel like you guys need to do a little bit of releasing, because I think there's a little bit of resentment within you guys about like those past friendships or relationships or people that you felt took advantage of you or your ideas or took you for granted, okay? But yeah, that was your reading, group 4. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and leave a comment down below letting me know if it resonated with you. Let me know if any of you guys actually are an earth sign or a fixed sign, or if, you know, it was kind of calling out your stubbornness or the jumbliness that you may feel. If you guys are interested in a private reading or one of these personalized custom crystal bracelets that I do, you can feel free to reach out to me in the description box below. You'll find my links or the info for my socials, which is just Instagram really, my email, or you can also reach out to me on my website. Okay guys, I know the website's a little sparse, but it's okay, it's getting there. It's a work in progress, just like you are, just like we all are, right? I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, you guys. Love you, group 4. Bye. Hey, group 5. This is your group if you chose Bae. I'm going to give you a little close-up of the card again. It says, oh, boo, you'll always be my Bae. And this is your your stone, this lovely chunk of raw red jasper. And I kind of already shuffled out your cards, which is great. Okay, we're gonna start out pretty simple, but I also wanted to just say to you guys, while I was getting your stuff ready, I kept hearing dead or alive. Oh gosh, don't quote me who it's by. I think it's Bon Jovi, but don't quote me on that, okay? I forgot. So, but you know, it's like, it's all the same, only the names have changed. And I just keep hearing, I wanted, dead or alive. And the guitar that goes in there, right? So I just keep hearing that. So I feel like you guys are kind of like badass. You kind of seem a little bit like, some of you could be edgy or like rock starry. I feel like you guys get a lot of attention. You could possibly have a very high libido or sex drive. I'm seeing like leather jackets, you know. We're gonna start with your tarot, by the way. I'm gonna set your oracle cards to the side. You guys, by the way, have the most cards of all the groups. You literally have the most cards of all the groups. They're like, we're gonna end on a big shebang. But yeah, so it's interesting because I feel like you guys have this like hard exterior, you know, but on the inside you've got like soft mushiness within, you know what I mean? It's just your shell is like cool and whatnot, but inside you're kind of like a mush factor. But yeah, so let's get into your cards. I'm gonna set this aside a little further because you have a lot. I don't even know if we'll be able to fit them all in, but we'll try. We have the Two of Swords, the King of Cups, the Seven of Swords, the Magician, the Judgment card, Five of Cups, the Star. Also, you guys got a lot of cards from this deck, and for me, this is one of my like romance decks, and you guys chose Bay. You chose the chunkiest like abstract heart thing with red jasper, which is the root chakra. So I really feel like there is emphasis on love and libido and sex drive and passion and all of that stuff, okay? Because this is my love deck, and you guys got the most cards from this deck. So we also have the Chariot. We have the Six of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, the Star, the Moon, the Eight of Staffs, which is the Eight of Wands, the Five of Swords. I'm telling you, you guys got a lot of cards. Judgment again. Oh, okay. I haven't seen the cards. The Two of Cups and the Fool. Okay. Let me just place them down here for a sec and get a moment to see what it is that Divine wants you to know. Okay, first of all, I think one of the things that Divine wants you to know, which is something that you probably already know, but the whole point is it's like they're telling you let's not be in denial about it, that you secretly really want and desire love, and that's okay. I feel like you're like, I don't need a relationship, I don't want a relationship, but it kind of feels a little bit more like your ego talking and your persona, like the hard ass exterior, you know, the rock star exterior and persona, like sex, drugs, and I don't know, something else. And rock on. But I think the inside of you is actually a lot more like this King of Cups, you know, like very gentle, very soft, very mushy. And it's like, girl, don't be playing, you know you want love. It's kind of like, you know, Hercules from like the Disney movie Hercules, how Meg has that whole song like, I won't say I'm in love, you know, and she's just like denying the fact, and she's like, I don't want to be in love, I don't need love, love is mushy, love got me into this mess. But it's like, girl, Meg, you a hopeless romantic, you know what I'm saying? You guys chose Bay for a reason. Also, I feel like you're really like sexy and attractive. Like you have a very sexy energy, I think, around you, which is also why like that's there. But again, I'm not saying you're like a playboy, playgirl kind of thing. It just feels like you could possibly have a higher body count or the desire to have one of those, you know what I mean? I don't even use terms like that, by the way, just so you know. That's just for you guys. But yes, so let's see what else we've got here. You got, oh, you know what? You have the star twice, you guys. You have the star twice. You have, there was something else that you had twice. Oh, you had judgment twice as well. And those are major arcanas. So I feel like there's a little bit of an emphasis, like I feel in my throat. Maybe some of you guys are musicians, you know, musicians. But I do feel, I just heard, oh my goodness, I'm gonna say it because maybe it pertains to the reading. Maybe it's like your sense of humor or something that somebody you know may say, but I just heard, I feel it in my scrot. I feel it in my scrot. Oh my goodness. Okay. Anyway. Oh, you know what? That could be a sexual thing too, actually. Yeah, I feel, okay, you guys, I'm gonna get a little bit call outy, okay? And this is just what they're telling me to say, but I feel like you guys leave a lot of situations or you self-sabotage when it comes to love because you have that hard shell and exterior and you're like, I gotta be a tough, what is it? A tough ass? Is that the expression? Whatever, I'm tough, you know. I'm strong. I don't need nobody, no how. But really it's like you've got this inner conflict between what it is that your heart really craves, because inside you guys are a marshmallow, and like the persona that you put on. You know what I mean? I feel like you guys are on a journey. I think it's going to take a little bit more time, but you guys are on a journey of coming to terms of your inner softness and kind of finding the balance between your edgy personality and your internal marshmallowiness. I feel like you've got a lot of opportunities going around your life right now, and there's just so much potential happening around you guys. You guys are really meant to shine because you have the star twice, you have the moon. Look how vibrant this moon card, this 8 of staffs, you know, I've never really seen the 8 of wands glowing like this, especially in the night, like just shining in the night like a meteor shower, right? It's like there's this new beginning. I also feel like when you guys open up to this vulnerability, to the idea that you actually do really want the kind of like cheesy romance and partnership that you kind of shun maybe, or go, that's gross, whatever, ill, but I really want it, you know? Because I feel like you guys have a lot more masculine energy regardless of your gender. I do feel like you possibly have a little bit more masculine energy, or at least that's where you're living in right now. You're living in more of your masculine energy, which is like managing everything else. That's where that like oozing sex appeal rock star vibe is coming from, you know what I mean? But like your inner feminine energy is just like, but what about me? You know, with the 5 of Cups, I also feel like that's a little bit of you being in the denial of the things that you kind of really want for yourself. There's so much opportunity and chance around you guys. It is crazy. Like right now is a time for you guys to shine in your career. So if you do something creative, like again, I saw something with music. It could be something more than music. It could be, I don't know, art, like visual art or poetry or something creative in general, or just even if you have a career where you're self-employed or you're like, you're a private contractor. I'm just seeing like there's a lot of potential around you guys in regards to that. Even with the Fool energy, it's kind of like a new beginning, but it's interesting because with this 2 of Cups and the Fool, I feel like they're asking you to find the inner balance. Again, like there seems to be emphasis on balancing these 2 natures within yourself, you know. But first, that starts with accepting and really coming to terms with the fact that yes, you actually really do want and need love. You know, we need love. As people, we need love, and we crave it because it's one of the things that we need. So yes, it is a need. It is a fundamental need, love. Okay, I'm not saying romantic love, but love in general. And I think once you can accept the fact that you need love, you can accept the fact that you want romantic love. And though you don't need romantic love, I feel like you guys are one of the signs that probably thrive in romantic love, like Cancer, Libra, something with Venus influence, Pisces maybe. There are a couple other signs, but those are the ones that come to mind. Like, I feel like you guys thrive in love. You know, you kind of thrive in a relationship, but that part of yourself has kind of been denied, possibly because of being hurt, you know, because of the sensitivity that you have, because it takes a great sensitivity to allow yourself to love and be loved, right? And it takes a certain sense of vulnerability. And I feel like once you open up that part of yourself and find that balance for yourself, your career is going to skyrocket even more, because it's just going to give you even more creative ideas and all of this stuff. Like, you're going to be in such an incredible flow state, more so than you guys already currently are. Okay. All right. That was your tarot portion. Now let's like totes get into your like oracle cards for sure. I don't know why I'm talking like that. I'm sorry. I hope that wasn't offensive to anyone. I just realized that is like such a Valley girl stereotype accent. So hopefully no one was like that in this reading, and please don't come for me. All right, guys, let's get into your oracle cards. Again, you guys got the most of like every group, so because you guys do the most. I feel like you guys work a lot. You guys are super hard workers. Like, you know what? I mentioned Cancer energy, but I'm also getting like Capricorn energy, you know, like you guys are super, super dedicated in your work. Like, that's why I also feel like you guys have a hard time balancing that inner feminine and masculine energy, because once you go into work mode, you're like so in your masculine energy, and it's hard for you to get out of that because it's overpowering. I feel like you have a lot of masculine energies in your astrology chart probably. But yes, we have peace, ironic because that's kind of what you're looking for within. Blue spectrum, a lot of stuff to do with expression. We have authority, serenity. Look how beautiful this symbol is. So far the colors have been gold and blue, shades of blue, which I think is interesting. So again, that's like super throat chakra. Even here, right? Like, this is a lot of blue. That's like super throat chakra related. So again, it feels like an expression, a heart to heart with yourself. And that's why I also kind of feel like you guys could be musicians, singers, creatives, what have you. And the gold is like that divine inspiration in your expression. Okay. Then we have joy. That you have options is meaningful. Rock on. This one came out a couple of times today, and I shuffled really well. Like, these cards flew out. They weren't like, oh, I just picked them out of the deck. Love, in spite of it all. Love doesn't have to mean near. Honor thyself. The alchemical cardist. The alchemical artist. Look how pretty this card is. And that just reminded me of your libido again. Maybe that's why there's such a strong libido energy here, because of your sacral chakra, right? That creativity. Your great wave awaits. And there's a lot of blue energy here too. Deliver your greatest gift to the world, which is your song, your expression, your spirit, and whatnot. And then your last three cards, we have the 8th house. No surprise with all the sex energy we have here. We have, this is the end of spring. And oh my goodness, we have Cancer, you guys. Didn't I mention Cancer earlier? Yes, I did. I did indeed. Okay, that's a lot of water energy. Okay, and with all the blue, that's like water too, right? Okay, so what is Divine's message? First of all, with love doesn't have to mean near. I feel like because you guys have a lot of divine masculine energy, that also causes conflict with like the whole accepting of I want love thing, because you're worried that you're gonna be having somebody, because inside, like I said, you guys really are a marshmallow, right? So like the marshmallow part of you is worried of being taken advantage of, and the divine masculine side of you is like the masculine energy within you is worried of having somebody controlling you, because you guys are such a free spirit. I'm also getting like Aquarius vibes from you guys. You guys are such a free spirit. You're super stubborn in the in possessing your freedom as well, you know, and in like ownership of your freedom. Like you are the only one in control of your life. And my nose keeps itching, so maybe that means that, ooh, okay, with my nose being itchy, I kind of feel like some of you guys maybe drink a little bit too much. Okay, so spirit is kind of like, hey girl, maybe you want to cut out on the alcohol a little bit, okay, because my nose is so itchy. I also feel like you guys could be psychic mediums, but maybe the medium part of it is not something that you explore as often as you could or should. I also feel like you channel a lot of, if you are musicians, you channel a lot of your songs coming from those places. But yeah, so I feel like the fear of commitment for you guys, the fear of accepting the fact that you want love, is also because you're partially afraid of being controlled. Because I feel like a lot of people have had a say in your life in the earlier stages of it. I feel like you guys are super intricate. Your style is super specific, okay? And before we get into the rest of the meanings, let me just read you the backs of these 4 cards. So with that you have options is meaningful, right on. The back says, if I could make you just 2 wishes, I'd wish I could somehow convey to you the profound depths of my gratitude for every moment of your life. I'd also wish that you could somehow know of your unimaginable importance, just as you now are, to the lives of so very many. And of course, I'd wish for even more wishes. Oh shoot, you were such a good idea, the universe. Love in spite of it all. Before this odyssey ever began, there was you, your best friends, and wide-eyed curiosity among you about who would be the first to leap, the first to forget, the first to kiss, the first to tell, the first to fall, the first to get back up, and the first to remember that it all began with a dare, to love in spite of it all. Is that you, Murgatroyd? The universe. P.S. I remember the glint in your eyes, all 3 of them. You guys, as I was reading this the whole time, all I kept smelling and tasting is, out of nowhere, by the way, I wanted to say pizza, but it's not pizza. It just kind of, maybe it's pasta with like a rich tomato sauce and like cheese. Like Parmigiano Reggiano, right? Or whatever it's called. I think that's what it's called. Don't quote me on that, okay? I think it's Reggiano, right? Parmigiano Reggiano? No? Okay, whatever. I don't know. Don't come for me, okay? But yeah, so also I noticed I've been saying that a lot in your reading. So maybe you guys kind of speak truths and then you're just like, hey, but this is just me telling you the truth. I say it as it is. Like, don't come for me, you know? Like, it's not me, it's you. But yeah, I don't know if maybe some of you guys are Italian or have some kind of Italian history, or maybe you've been eating a lot of carbs and cheese and sauce, or maybe you're currently eating or thinking about some kind of a nice Italian meal, but it just felt like, it was almost like I was enjoying it right in this moment, like the warmth, the heat, like temperature warmth of the tomato sauce or the pasta sauce or whatever. But it felt like fresh, like from a fancy restaurant, you know, like the cheese that was in there, like, it was so good. Okay, anyway, love doesn't have to mean near. Some are better loved at a distance, for a while anyway, and that's okay. Besides, love doesn't really know the difference. Tally-ho, the universe. And before we get into that, I want to also talk about honor thyself. Just curious, when was the last time you looked into a mirror and addressed yourself as gorgeous, magnificent, or sublime? It matters. Here's looking at you, gorgeous, the universe. P.S. Okay, hubba hubba counts. So I feel like this is also like you kind of know you're the shit, you know, but I feel like that seems like an ego aspect of you. On a really deep inner part of you, like the marshmallow within, kind of still has insecurities. You just kind of learn how to overcome them by doing things regardless of them. But I feel like you did that by numbing yourself as opposed to working with yourself. So I feel like there's a little bit of an emphasis to kind of, hey, you know, if you had that Scorpio energy, right, with the Scorpio here, again, the Scorpio energy here just tells me about like your incredible depth and I just heard penetrative depth, but in an innuendo way, and like that sexual energy and libido that's really coming through. You guys are so deep, and I think that talks about like the darkness too that I was talking about with the like the leather jacket and the rugged look, you know, the beginning or the end of spring. This is also talking about this is when things really start to flower, you know, you actually start to see flowers blooming. It's so colorful. Like there's a whole colorful side of you that you're being challenged to explore as you open up, or as divine advises you to open up to this sensitivity within you. Like own the fact that there is a nurturer in you as well as a provider. And the person that you need to nurture the most right now is you. Okay, guys, I feel like with this peace and serenity, I feel like you guys go into your work a little too hard. And though it created such incredible success for you guys, I think they're saying your greatest wave awaits, because it's also like giving yourself the peace that you need instead of going out and drinking, hanging out with friends, like socializing, networking, whatever. Maybe give yourself a break and you'll find that you're going to get an even greater inspirational wave or hit that comes to you, you know, and you're going to be able to really deliver your greatest gift to the world when you open up to both aspects of yourself, to your sensitivity, and you allow yourself to incorporate it into your life. Okay. And I'm also hearing, like, again, there's nothing wrong with your libido or anything like that. There's nothing dark about it. Use it for your creativity. Okay. And let's just get the final messages with the dice. We have the number 14, which is temperance. Oh my gosh, was I not just talking to you guys all about balance? That's it there. You have Pluto, which is going with that Scorpio here. Capricorn, which is funny because I mentioned Capricorn earlier. And you have the 4th house, which again is Cancer. Okay, so with the Pluto energy, again, your sex appeal, you were like oozing with sex appeal. Like I'm talking about, like, it really feels like a rock star. You know, even if you're like female, right? There's this singer, her name, she goes by LP. And she has an incredible range, an incredible voice, an incredible style of singing. She's very unique, I think, because she adds whistles and stuff in her songs. She looks like a rock star, the way that she dresses. And oh my goodness, I'm pretty sure she's a lesbian. And yeah, she's a lesbian. And she emits so much sex appeal that I for sure know a couple of straight women, including myself, that were just like, holy damn, like she is so fucking hot. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. Like she exudes so much like rock star sex appeal that like I'm sure she could definitely sleep with straight women if she wanted to, like, because it's beyond, you know what I mean? It's that attractive. It's like, it doesn't matter what you're into. It's like you're so like, it doesn't matter what other people are into. You're just so freaking sexy, is what I'm seeing here. Okay, like you're so freaking sexy. It is crazy. Okay. Anyway, I need a break from that energy. Let's focus on the Capricorn and the Cancer and the 4th house. Again, this is like the divine mother and the divine father of astrology. Let's move this up. Oh, look how balanced it is. Okay. Let's move this up here, right? And honor thyself is right under here, and authority, right? It's just honoring both aspects of yourself, finding a way where you can, because Cancer is more of a homebody, right? And like you're doing all the other stuff of like being exuberant and shining. Well, now it's time to kind of have that balance where you go in, right? And you retract and you just kind of come together with your own inner peace. Okay, guys? So that's what Divine has to say to you. It's more so just about a balancing act for you guys, and you guys are sexy mofos, right? Like, you are one sexy person. So that was your reading group number 5. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for tuning in. And if you enjoyed the reading, I would love to hear about it down in the comments down below. If it resonated with you, are you guys a musician perchance? Do you happen to have an edgy or grungy style? Do you know who sings Wanted Dead or Alive? All of this will you reveal to me in the comments down below, and everybody else who's down there. Also, if you guys are interested in a custom crystal bracelet, which I mentioned in the beginning of the video, or in a private reading as well, since these are general readings and they can't be as specific as, you know, we would all like them to be, since they're directed towards the general public. Again, my nose is itchy, y'all. Maybe you may need a little bit of a break from the alcohol. I also feel like coming into terms with trying to balance both dualities may be really uncomfortable for you guys, and you may get like a little bit of a skin irritation because it's so uncomfortable that it shows on your actual skin for some of you. It'll go away. It's just it's like the first instinct, because it's just so out of your comfort zone. Like, you're physically gonna visibly look uncomfortable. But yeah, so if you guys are interested in a personal reading or the bracelets, or getting one of your own, or just have any questions or whatnot, you can reach out to me on my social media or my email. I say social media like I've got multiple. Really, I only have an Instagram, so either on Instagram, through email, or my website, which are all linked in the description box below. If you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up, and if you subscribe to the channel to be up to date whenever I post another tarot reading. I also have other plans for this channel other than tarot readings, so I'm excited about it, and I think you guys may enjoy it as well, so stay tuned for that. But other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Lots of love to you guys. Bye, group 5.